So you looking for a car? 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 You in the right place. If you're looking for a vehicle, you in the right place. So it's your girl Lexi. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, what's up? If you're existing, what's up? Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. I really do appreciate you just watching my videos. These are my tips. I currently work in finance and I wanted to share with you all what I've learned along the way. I know a lot of people don't know a lot about financing. I know I didn't know a lot about financing, so I wanted to give some tips for my people that are looking for cars, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have a question, like if you have your own question or you want to know anything else, comment down below. I will answer you. If I can't get an answer for you, I will ask my supervisor or one of my seasoned colleagues, and then I will get back to you. I hope you all enjoyed this video and stay tuned. Okay, y'all, so first things first, we're going to define what finance is. A lot of people don't know exactly what finance is, so I thought that I would go ahead and define it for you all so that you can know. You know, some people just aren't taught and they just don't know. So let's define that first, and we're also going to define interest rate, and then I'll explain exactly what each of those things mean. So finance is providing funds for a person or enterprise. So basically what finance is when someone finances you money, they lend you money. So it's the same concept. You either are financed through a bank or a credit union. Yeah, so that's how that works. It's a simple term, simple meaning. Interest rate is actually the proportion of a loan that is charged as interest to the borrower. I don't know how to say borrower, so y'all have to bear with me with that. Typically expressed as an annual percentage of the loan outstanding. So the interest rate is the amount that you have to pay back on top of the loan. So a bank or a credit union will loan you money, and based off of that loan, they have to make money off of the loan. So on top of that, they charge interest. So that's how they make money off the loan. Based off of your credit. If you have good credit or bad credit, that's how much interest you will pay. That's how your interest rate is calculated. So if you have bad credit, you pay more on top of the loan compared to someone who has good credit and they pay less on top of the loan. It's really based off of how much of a risk you are and how much of a risk you are to that company to pay the money back. So that's how it works. Really simple once you explain it, but I wanted to explain that and get that out the way, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people call my job, don't even know what the term is or what it means. So I thought I should educate you all on that. Alright, so these are my tips for going to buy your first car. And going to buy your first car, or your second car, or your third car, or your fourth car, or your fifth car. Whatever. Going to buy a car in general. Okay, budget. What is your budget? How much can you afford to pay each month? How you going to buy a car you don't know how much you can pay? Sit down. Think of how much money you have coming in, how much money you have going out. Based off of that, how much money can you afford? Don't try to fake the funk. Oh, because Susu can pay $600 a month, you can pay $600. Not how it works. So don't base your finances off of someone else. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. What can you afford truthfully? Be truthful with yourself and be truthful with your salesperson. Oh, I can only afford $200 a month. Oh, I can only afford $300 a month, and be honest about that and be stern with that, because sometimes they'll try to make you like get more, or oh, it's only $20 more. If you can't afford $20 more, you can't. So be stern with how much you can afford and stick to that. So I'm going to show you all this budget calculator that I found. You can go on the budget, just type in budget calculator for a car. I'm going to use the one on a dealership that I was going to purchase the car from myself. I find it the most easiest. So I want you all to see how to use it. I may use a different one. I'll just really do a voiceover. So this is it. So this is how you could determine your budget. Okay guys, so this is the budget calculator that I found. So I'm going to use this one. I found this one to be the easiest one. I'm just going to break down each part. Just remember that a calculator is still an estimator because it's based off of each person. So this may not be as accurate as when you actually run the application, but it just gives you a roundabout and lets you know exactly like what range you need to stay around for a vehicle. So right here, you put your monthly payment. I put $400 in already. That's the average of what I normally see. Down payment, I'm putting $1,000. I think that's feasible. I'll show you the difference between them. And then we also have the term length, which is, I chose 72 months, which equates to 6 years. That's a long time to have a loan. So we'll do 60 months, which is still a long time, 5 years. But you can like play with that and decide how long you want to go. Most people do 72 months because it gives you the least amount for your payments. But that's a really long time to have a loan. But I'm going to leave it at 72 months actually. So then we'll go up here to credit rating. So this shows your credit. This is an estimator. The percentage rate that you see is actually interest rates. So challenge is 20 to 24%, fair is 15 to 19%, good is 10 to 14%, very good is 5 to 9%, and excellent is 2 to 4%. I'm going to use fair, and the interest rate is 17%. This is Georgia taxes, so they're already included in everything, so that's good. And then, so it's showing me that if I want to have a $400 monthly payment, I have to choose a vehicle around $17,531. That's including taxes and everything, which is the estimate. So yeah, and it just changes as you change things. So say you have challenge credit. Okay, let's leave it at fair. So we'll do the fair. So see, with challenge credit, since I have that locked in, it's showing that the down payment would be $3,061. Leave it at fair. If we go down and we change the down payment, we put $5,000 down. You can get a vehicle that around $21,356. If you put $0 down, you can get a vehicle around $16,731. So I think a budget calculator is really helpful when you are determining what price range you need to stay around and what fits within your budget. This one was fairly easy. And yeah, and these are for the credit ratings as well. They do vary by bank and credit union. Like I said, I don't know if I said this in the video, but credit unions normally pay less. Have a lower interest rate. So I do recommend getting a credit union account and working with the credit union, becoming a member of one, because they do loan you money for really cheap rates. Just because you work hard does not mean you can buy whatever vehicle you want if you have bad credit. If you have bad credit, you cannot buy whatever car you want. Okay? Like, oh, I have to get a Suburban. I want a Suburban. Oh, I have to have a Tahoe. Oh, I have to have a Camaro. I gotta have a Mustang GT for $50,000. And your credit is a 200. What's the lowest? A 300. Like, no, that's not how it works. Get the car that fits within your budget within that time. Whatever your credit score is, whatever that allows you to get that car. Work on paying your payments on time. Work on building your credit up. 2-3 years, you can get the car you want. But right now, you may not be able to. And that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to have the most amazing car right now. You just need something to get you from point A to point B. It's really not that serious. No one cares what anyone else thinks. And if you care that much about what other people think about the car that you're driving, you may need to reevaluate some things within yourself. Number 3, write down what you want in the vehicle. Do you have 5 kids, 10 kids? You need space. You need to mention that. Do you want Bluetooth? Do you want heat? Do you want whatever you want? Mention it. Let your salesperson know, and you should know for yourself. Is it a car you see on the street? You're like, oh, I love that car. It may be out your budget, but it gives the person some type of idea of what you like and what you would consider. So you need to know what you want. Know what you want. How can somebody fulfill a need for you if you don't know what you want? Number 4, do you have a down payment? So with this, you need to know how much you can put down on a vehicle. Now, if you don't have anything to put down, then that's totally fine. That's really up to you, whatever you want to do. Now, not to say that you won't run an application and then the lender will counter you and want some money down. That could happen as well. But I suggest that you put something down. It gets you the better offer with lenders, and it causes your payments to be cheaper. So I spoke with my supervisor about this, and he said for every $1,000, it's estimated $20 comes off of your amount, but that's really based off of your credit and everything. So that's not like set in stone. So take that into consideration. you need to know your down payment and how much you have to put down. And I think a down payment is really important when it boils down to it. But some people are just stuck on, I'm not putting nothing down. And that's fine too. Do whatever floats your boat. Okay, guys, so I forgot to mention this. So I also wanted to mention trade-in vehicles. When it comes to a trade-in, you have two things, negative equity and positive equity. If you own your vehicle outright without a loan, you're not financing that one, then you will have positive equity. You can't have any negative equity in that car unless you have like a pawn or a pawn loan or something like that. So negative equity comes into play when you're financing the vehicle and you owe a certain amount on the car. So say you have a $20,000 payoff amount. You owe that much on that car. You take the car to get appraised at the dealership. Appraised mean they're looking at the car to see how much they'll offer you for it. They only offer you $15,000. So if they only offer you that amount, you have a $5,000 gap. So either you can choose to pay that out of pocket and get out of the loan completely, or you can roll it over into your new loan, and that in return makes your payments higher. So that's how that works. You need to consider this and take that into consideration when you're trying to get into a new car, because if you have a negative amount, you need to factor that in to know how much you can afford each month. Number 5, write down a list of cosigners. If you have good credit, this may not be for you, but if your credit is challenged, or if you know, if my credit is fair, my grandma's credit is good, I could get a way better score. Whatever the case may be, write down a list of cosigners. You don't want to be in a dealership, they run your application and you're like, oh my God, they said I need a cosigner. Oh, my down payment is this much. Oh my God, panicking. You should have those people lined up like, oh, my grandma said she'll cosign. My mom said, my auntie, my daddy, my whatever. And have those conversations with them, you know, so it's not like you just at the dealership like, grandma, you think you can cosign for me? Ask. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt to ask. If they say no, then okay, move on to the next person. Think about your friend, your best friend, your sister, your brother. Who can co-sign for you? Who can help you throughout this time if you actually like really need a vehicle? You have to think about that. So write those things down and have that prepared as well. I always think that you should run the application by yourself initially. You want your car to be in your own name. You don't really want it to be anyone else's name, because people get to tripping and acting crazy. But if you can't get it in your own name initially, cosigner is definitely a big help. I also wanted to talk about buy here, pay here places. So I feel like I missed a thing, y'all. No, I didn't. Okay. I also wanted to talk about buy here, pay here places. One of my colleagues, I've never had an experience with one, but one of my colleagues did have a buy here, pay here vehicle, and she said it treated her really well until she got into an accident in the car and didn't have it anymore. But I have so many people that call in to my job and they're like, I pay $800 a month for a 07 and I can't, you know what I'm saying, I can't afford this, whatever the case may be. So if a buy here, pay here is your last resort and you're like, I have to go here, I don't really have any options, all the dealerships has turned me away, I don't know what to do, you can go to a buy here, pay here, but I don't suggest purchasing the day of you going there. So sometimes people, you go there and you're like, you're all flustered, like, oh, I need a car, and they take advantage of that and they're like, okay, well, it'll be $200 a week, and you sign paperwork and you paying $800 a month for a 07. You get home like, damn, I can't really afford this. Or it's $300 every 2 weeks. I can't really afford this. So you need to take that into consideration. Like, how much can you afford? When they give you that offer and they let you know how much each thing is, go home, look at the paperwork, and say to yourself, okay, $200 every 2 weeks, can I afford this? $300 every 2 weeks, can I afford? And base it off of that. Don't feel rushed, don't feel pressured, don't let anyone pressure you into getting a car or anything like that. I will put some links down below of like negotiating tips for negotiating for a vehicle, and also pricing as well. I don't really know a lot about negotiating, but I will put the links down below because you will have to negotiate if you are buying a car. So if you know someone who is good at negotiating, or if you have a guy friend that's good at it, or a girlfriend, then take them with you. Take them with you. I didn't know much about negotiating when I purchased my first vehicle, but I think it's really important to get that price lowered, and also to work something out with lenders and also the dealership as well. So I hope these tips really did help you guys. I hope you all enjoy your car buying experience. Enjoy it. It's a car. It's not a big deal. Try to find something that's reliable, that fits within your needs. If you have any questions or you have certain things that you want to talk about or ask, put them down below. If I can't get the answer for you, I will ask one of my colleagues, or I will ask my supervisor and I will get the answer back to you. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I love you all so much. Turn on your notifications so that you can know when I update. And thumbs up this video. And if you want a thumbs down, click on off my video. If you made it this far, you might as well not even thumbs down. Alright, I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good day. Bye, guys.
I'm saving some.